the National Football League. Today, it's the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Tiki Barber and Melanie Collins on the sideline, Kevin Harlan. We've had the flip of the coin. The Niners have won. They will take the second half kickoff. Seahawks will receive. That is DJ Dallas, who is awaiting the kickoff from Wisnowski of the Niners, who have won 3 in a row. And away we go in the Pacific Northwest. It's Dallas for Seattle. And out past the 20. It'll be 1st and 10, and Russell Wilson will take it from there. Hi, everyone. So, Tiki, let's talk about some headlines that have captured your attention heading into this one.
Yeah, this has been all about the San Francisco 49ers 3-game winning streak and them running the football. Elijah Mitchell has been fantastic. Deebo Samuel has helped a lot in that run game, but he is out today, so Jimmy Garoppolo has a lot more on his shoulders. And Russell Wilson for the Seattle Seahawks, he's battled that hand injury, broke his middle finger, had a pin put in it. It took a lot of time to get back, but here he is, 8 weeks now removed from that surgery, and in his mind, he believes that he can overcome it. He speaks it, he talks about it, and you got to believe that he believes it and his team believes it as well.
There is an injury on the field on the kickoff, and it's Trenton Cannon, number 49, who caught the knee of his own player. Hufanga, I think, is the one as they intersected, and he's being looked at right now at about the 19-yard line. Tough way to start things off. You can see they're beginning to unravel the medical equipment, and the athletic trainers from both teams are going over there. Russell Wilson, in fact, is making his way over there as well. Tiki, you can...
Yeah, this is a tough-looking hit, Kevin. He kind of slid.
We welcome you to Seattle. We've just had the opening kickoff to the Seahawks, and there's an injury timeout for the Niners, and we will step aside on CBS. On the opening kickoff here in Seattle, Trenton Cannon was going in for a tackle on the special teams for the 49ers, and in friendly fire ran into his own player in the intersection as they were going for DJ Dallas.
Yeah, Kevin, you see him in a compromised position, and Talanoa Hufanga's thigh and knee got into his neck area. You never want to speculate in these situations. It's standard practice for neck injuries for the training units from both teams to come out and put them on a board just for precautionary reasons.
Most times they will bring the cart out. They have brought the ambulance, as you've seen, out onto the field, and this is a little bit out of the ordinary, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's very out of the ordinary, and you know, the one thing you worry about from a player's standpoint is getting your mind back to playing this violent sport.
So at the obvious timeout, again, we'll step aside on CBS. Back in Seattle, the player that was down for the Niners, Trenton Cannon, has been loaded into the ambulance, and both teams crowded around him as we saw him put on the stretcher. And he did move his arm, which was a very good sign. But more to come on that. From the 23. It is 1st and 10.
There's no real easy way to transition from that hospital or an ambulance leaving the facility, get right back onto the field and start playing. But this is the game. It's a privilege to play it.
Adrian Peterson is the back, and on 1st and 10, they go outside. Metcalf loses a yard. Boy, they were on him quick. Hit by a couple. Elshire was there, taking the place of the middle linebacker, Fred Warner. All right, tell me about Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson has had such a storied career. He's never had a losing season out here in Seattle. This is going to be a challenging year.
Here they go for Freddie Swain. Shire again was still there with the tackle, and it's a gain of a couple on the play, bringing up 3rd and 7.
And despite the struggles, Kevin, he keeps reminding himself, when we talked to him earlier this week, about all the successes that he's had in his career, from the Super Bowl championship to his 279 touchdowns, 100 wins that he's had. So he's trying to stay positive despite the 3-game losing streak and a 3-8 record on the season so far.
5 in the secondary, 3rd down and 7. 4 receivers at the top of your screen. And they go outside here to one of them. That's Homer, the running back, who caught it, and quickly over there was Tart. No gain on the play. Jaquaski Tart with a big-time defensive play. That's exactly what the San Francisco defense needed to do early against Wilson.
That's exactly right. We knew that the Seattle Seahawks were going to come out with some tempo because they are facing a San Francisco 49ers defense that's beat up on the defensive side of the ball, particularly at the linebacker position. So get fast, try to get some first downs, but 3rd and long is what's plagued this team. But here we have a fake.
It is a fake indeed, and this is Travis Homer, who got a block, takes it the other way, and this will be 6. Can you believe it? 73 yards.
Unbelievably gutsy call here. Direct snap to Travis Homer. There is no one out in front of him. He's got his fullback, Nick Ballore, giving him some freedom. Gets into the end zone, does a flip. What a gutsy call by Pete Carroll to start this game. This Lumen Field crowd is going wild right now.
That is incredible for a team that has lost 6 of 7 like the Seahawks. You need something like that, don't you, Tiki?
You absolutely do. If you can't manufacture energy with your play, then get creative, and that's what Pete Carroll has been committed to. He's done it his whole career, back in college and now here with the Seattle Seahawks.
It's 7-0 Seattle. Travis Homer has not scored a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown. He had a kick return touchdown for 44 yards earlier and a fake punt and 6 for the Hawks. Back after this from Walmart. So Travis Homer, who is battling injuries, he wasn't even in the lineup in Washington on Monday night in the loss for the Seahawks in the nation's capital, comes up on what looks to be an early 3-and-out, and they stun the Niners with a big-time special teams play and take an early 7-0 lead.
You know, when teams get really jazzed when things like this happen, they realize that they haven't been playing well, but if your coach is willing to put the ultimate risk out there to try to make things happen, force things to happen, then anything is possible. It's just the mentality of the Seahawks squad.
It is. Nick Ballore, who leads the NFL in special teams tackles, makes the stop there on Travis Benjamin. Here is the fake again.
And Ballore is out here in front, leading Travis Homer. Gets some interference on Brandon Ayuk, allows him to cut back into the middle of the field. There's nothing sweeter than running untouched. Clear shot into the end zone.
Welcome those of you watching Cincinnati and the Chargers. Garoppolo 1st and 10. Burrowing Elijah Mitchell. Stopped in the middle there. Hit by a couple, including Ford. It'll be 2nd down. Jimmy Garoppolo has played 3 very good games here in a row.
He has played 3 very good games in a row. A lot of that, though, due to the run game. Elijah Mitchell, 693 now plus yards on the season. One of the best rookie seasons that a San Francisco 49er has ever had. Deebo Samuel is not in this game, so it's going to be heavily on Elijah Mitchell's shoulders this afternoon.
Sherfield was in motion. 2nd down, 9. It's Mitchell again, runs into his own blocker, use check. No place to run, no place to hide. Gerald Brooks, along with Taylor in there, making the stop, and they throw him for a loss. So here is a look at Jimmy Garoppolo and his season. Like we said, 3 straight games he's been playing well.
He has been, especially on the road. 4-0, 68% completion percentage. He's not a guy in the guy who's going to throw the ball downfield and put it in risk way. not going to take those type of chances. And when they're running the football as well as they have been, it allows them not to. But here we are, 2 carries to start this game, and they've lost a half a yard.
6 in the secondary, 3rd and 10. Williams the block at the left tackle. Garoppolo all day. Look out from behind. Wobbly throw, incomplete. He got pressured on the play by Green. Coverage by Adams. Here comes the punting unit for the Niners.
Nowhere for Jimmy G to go with this football. As you watch all these receivers, it looks like they're turning into one coverage and a man coverage. Got a whole defender. Jimmy's not comfortable with any of these throws. Finally tries to get it across the middle of the field to his tight end, but a little bit too tall.
Here's a punt now by Wisnowski. And they're going to let it roll. And it will go inside the 30 and closer to the 25 and end up near the 24. 60-yard punt. On a fake punt, the Seahawks lead by 7. The Niners, who are coming in 6-5 and number 6 in the NFC, have just punted after their first possession. Second possession for the Seahawks. Peterson in the backfield gets the call here. Wrapped up and taken down. D.J. Jones inhales him and throws the great Peterson for a loss of 5. Back to the 20, to the sideline, and saying good afternoon to Melanie Collins.
Good afternoon, Kevin. And Trenton Cannon, who just left the field in an ambulance. I'm told he's on his way to a local hospital with a concussion. He will not return. Meanwhile, Deebo Samuel out for this game with a groin injury. And the area of greater concern, as Kyle Shanahan told us, are his 2 missing linebackers. Fred Warner out today with a hamstring, and Marcel Harris missing today with a concussion.
Now, thank you very much. The communication that Warner provided, so important. 2nd and 15, and outside they go here. And it's Gerald Everett. He fumbled the ball! San Francisco's got it. Emmanuel Mosley vacuums it in at the 23. And a turnover right there.
This is great hands by the San Francisco 49ers defense. Emmanuel Mosley comes up with this fumble. As you see a linebacker coming across, it might be Alshier knocking it loose. The ball's not put away. Gerald Everett's got to do a much better job. In fact, that was not Shair. That was D.J. Jones again, who just had to tackle for a loss on Adrian Peterson. Knocking that football out. Got to be high and tight. San Francisco now has a chance to capitalize just outside the red area.
By the way, the Seahawks are number 1 in fewest giveaways this season. That was only their 8th all year. Now trying to cash in the Niners from the 24, 1st and 10. Garoppolo, look at the time. And to the end zone, caught! It's a touchdown! Grabbed by George Kittle. A 24-yard strike over Reed for 6.
George Kittle just runs right through the middle of the seam. This is a post route that just cleared through the hashes. DJ Reed is in deep coverage here. Corner playing safety. Seattle likes to invert a lot of times, but just wasn't there in time. Jimmy Garoppolo with an easy touchdown pass to George Kittle, who he calls his clutch gene guy.
They tie it right there at 7. So there's the fumble by a team that rarely turns it over. The Seahawks. And Garoppolo, smelling blood, cashes in, finding his Pro Bowl tight end, Kittle, for 6. That was back in early October, week 4, and Seattle won in Santa Clara 28-21. Seahawks have won 3 consecutive games over the Niners. After the touchdown pass to Kittle, here we go with another kickoff, and D.J. Dallas will take it inside the 5. And tripped up on the play with a good stop by Jermichael Hasty. This week, NFL players are wearing custom cleats in honor of the cause they support through My Cause, My Cleats. Text MCMC to 635635 to hear the players' stories. Bid on their custom cleats for charity and learn more about how they're making a difference in their communities. Here is the 3rd possession for the Seahawks. We began the game with an injury and a long delay, and then the Seahawks on their first possession, a fake punt and a 73-yard touchdown run. Adrian Peterson making his Seahawk debut, and on 1st and 10, here goes Lockett with the nice reception on a rolling pass by Russell Wilson to the 33, and a gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, they're trying to get Russell Wilson out of harm's way up the middle of the field. We saw DJ Jones earlier getting some push in that interior line, so get him out on the corner, give him a two-way option here, either run the football for a couple of yards or find Tyler Lockett as he just did.
Hey, run the one, push. That's it.
Peterson the back, signed on Wednesday. Second and long to Adrian Peterson with the cut and the dance. Did he fumble the ball? Hit on the play hard, and he did fumble it, and it was recovered by Will Dissly, and no gain on the play.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson's been on the street for much of this season, so not used to carrying the football. Gets in tight, knocked out as he gets into contact here. Lucky to get that one back for sure. K'Wan Williams.
Homer is the back. 3rd down and 3. Shell the block and going deep down the sideline, and caught by Metcalf, but on the chalk. Mosley was there, covered him well. It's 4th down and 3, and here comes the Seattle punting unit.
You better believe they're going to be aware of the edges this time, Kevin.
Yes, they are, Tiki. You're right.
After the fake putt on the first go-round here, but that was a good job by Emmanuel Mosley of pushing DK Metcalf to the sideline.
Ayuk will be back to retrieve the punt from Dixon. Gets off a rocket, one of the top gross punters in the NFL. Oh, great spin. English at the 10. And then Maroon Garoppolo deep in his own zone. 58-yard punt. We're tied at 7 on CBS. Lumen Field, downtown Seattle. We had a penalty on the punt, and it was just announced, so they're going to bring the punting unit back out there for the Seahawks. And the Niners will get back in punt retrieval formation. In the first 4 minutes of the game, Tiki Barber, a fake punt touchdown, a turnover, a one-play touchdown drive, and a throw from Garoppolo to Kittle. A lot going on.
Lots going on here. It looked like we had an illegal touch on that punt, and because it was so booming, Kyle Shanahan elected for the do-over. See if Brandon Ayuk.
They were at the 10, and he'll grab it at the 22, so a difference of about 12 yards on a 50-yard punt. And that will send out Garoppolo and the offense for the Niners, who come in number 6 in the NFC. We've got 6 weeks left. 7 teams make it in every week. Crucial on the road to the postseason. And you can see the only team that receives a bye is the number 1 seed in each conference. Right now, that would be Arizona in the NFC. With Elijah Mitchell in the backfield, Garoppolo at his own 23 with the 1st and 10. And it's intercepted by Bobby Wagner. What in the world is going on here?
This is the most bizarre sequences of events to start
Flag
a
was
game we've seen in a while. This is likely after the play, but Bobby Wagner falling back into the crossing route. Jimmy Garoppolo trying to hit Trent Sherfield. Just doesn't see him.
That's the first interception of the season by the 7-time All-Pro linebacker for the Seahawks.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner is right here in the middle of the field. As soon as the play starts, he steps up, but then bounces back. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't see him at all. Right in the throwing lane. It's a big play if he's not there.
After the interception, Seattle's ball, 1st down.
Garoppolo throws the interception, just his 7th this season. He has been so efficient over the past 5 games. In fact, so efficient he's been number 1 in that category. But throws an early pick right here and gives Wilson Outstanding field position. Now they've moved the ball to the 28 of the Niners. First interception this season by Wagner. You may recall back in 18, he had an interception return against the Niners for a touchdown. It's the pitch out here, and it goes on 1st and 10 to Rashad Penny. Buttoned out of bounds. Al Shire with a gain of a yard. And down to about, there's another flag thrown at the 26.
Holding. Offense number 89. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Will Dissly picks it up for the Seahawks.
Yeah, Will Dissly's just hanging on to K'Wan Williams as he tries to turn to the sideline. But to go back to Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner has been such a problem for so many teams over the years.
Yes.
He's everywhere. 128 tackles, leads his team this year, but he shows up in almost every category, from sacks to QB hits, pass breakups. Super Bowl champion, obviously. 6-time All-Pro. First team All-Pro. He's just a dominant force in the middle of this, and a reliable force in the middle of this Seattle Seahawks defense, and it's someone who Pete Carroll relies upon to keep the energy right for this team.
Emmanuel Mosley is the one that has been taken off the field as they look at the injury. And Lenore has come in the secondary.
Yeah, Diamador Lenore, who's playing left corner right now on Deebo Samuel. That's not a matchup that's favoring the 49ers right now.
1st and 20, crumbling pocket, hit on the play. That is a fumble, rolling and taken in by Posick, the center. Oh, Bosa came in like a steamroller off the edge, knocked that ball free, and made it a very treacherous pocket.
Nick Bosa told us before this game that he has the freedom to line up on left or right side. He said he has some success against Dwayne Brown, but didn't know much about Brandon Shell. Well, he knows a lot about getting around him after that play. Driving right through him, really no resistance by Brandon Shell, putting pressure on Russell Wilson. It's hard to tell if that arm was moving forward. I don't think so. I think the ball is moving before it starts to come forward. Great effort by Nick Bosa. More importantly, great ethic by Ethan Pochik. Otherwise, we'd have another turnover.
2nd and 43. They got to go to Tacoma to get the first down.
You wonder why the Seattle Seahawks have been so bad on 3rd down? This is one of the reasons.
With the handoff here, and Rashad Penny brought down by Ebukan, and it's a gain of 11 on the play. If someone had to stop me right now and say what's happened, I said I do not know. Our heads are spinning. I'm sure yours at home are as well, with so much back and forth and just wild plays that have happened. We've already seen a couple turnovers, a fumble by Seattle, an interception by Wagner, a one-play touchdown drive and a pass to Kittle, and a fake punt returned 73 yards by the Seahawks. 3rd and 32. Brown the block at the left tackle, and here goes Russ. On the move, he needs the 28. Al Shire got him. As he made it to the 38, he picks up 12, but he may have gotten him into field goal range. Let's see what they decide to do. Flag again thrown.
Lots of laundry so far early in this game. Some of it has been picked up.
Alex Kemp, our referee.
I think they did pick up this flag as well, Kev. Maybe it was, no, it's not a hit. Not a late hit to Russell Wilson. Or a head to the head to Russell Wilson. He's still a runner. You got to slide feet first to give yourself up. Otherwise, you're essentially a running back, despite the number on your jersey.
A gentle breeze here in Seattle. A 56-yard field goal tried by Jason Myers. It's away. Wide. And we stay tied at 7. Myers missing a 56-yard field goal. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this. Well, the Seahawks just missed a 56-yard field goal. They squandered great beginning field position after the Bobby Wagner interception that put them at the Seattle 28.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised by that decision, Pete Carroll, to kick a 56-yarder. We got the numbers before the game. Both of these kickers around 51, 52. Playing the field position game against the 49ers is smart. They didn't do it in that situation.
And look where San Francisco begins it at the 46. Pitch out to Mitchell. Looking for a block on 1st and 10. And was taken down on the play by Hyder off the line. It's a gain of 4. He gets to midfield.
You know, one of the things that I love about this 49ers offense is the role that the wide receivers and the tight ends play in their toss game. All of these guys know their assignments. They know exactly what to do. Brandon Ayuk on that last play, it's hard for a wide receiver to seal off a linebacker or one of these safeties. Did a great job to allow Elijah Mitchell to get 5 yards.
2nd down 6. Kittle. Juszczyk with a block. He may have corkscrewed his way to a 1st down. He's gaining 5. He's inside the 45. And very close on the play to a 1st.
Yeah, here's George Kittle maybe filling in for Deebo Samuel as that non-running back runner on the reverse came up just a yard short. Now the 49ers get up here with pace and try to catch him off guard.
3rd and 1. As Adams met Mitchell at the line, and the way the officials coming in from the side, he would look to be shy of the 1st. It's 4th down. They did not get it. So after Kittle got 5 on his 2nd run of the season, here they go, 4th and 1. Garoppolo, quarterback sneak. Wagner got up high, and they may have nudged their way across the 44.
Yeah, 2nd effort by Jimmy Garoppolo. He stopped initially, but keeps driving his legs, pushes forward for the 1st down. On that previous play, though, it's really hard to stop Jamal Adams from getting to the backfield. He ducked underneath the edge defender and ended up getting the 1st down. In this case, quick snap, get up under the center, goose him, and go get 1st down.
They're going to bring the chains in from the sideline to see if he's made it or not, and it will be close.
Wow, I thought that was a obvious 1st down. Maybe I was wrong from up here.
Well, you were right.
There we go.
You were right. '70-year-old Pete Carroll in his 12th season. His team has lost 3 in a row, 6 of 7 after a 2-2 start, losing this past Monday against Washington in the nation's capital by 2. They get the 1st down, and Garoppolo's got it at the Seattle 44. Going deep. Oh, he's got Juszczyk. Could not hold it down with a spectacular effort at the 16 of the Seahawks.
This was a lot of running for Juice, as they call him. Kyle Juszczyk started out to the left side, came all the way across the formation, runs all the way by Jamal Adams, who's not great in coverage, as we all know. He's great at the line of scrimmage defender, but he can be had in the pass game. Jimmy Garoppolo's got to put that one on the money, and that might have been a touchdown itself.
Second down 10. Blocked by Williams. Juszczyk to the 36. Hit by Taylor on the play. Darrell Taylor with the stick. A gain of 8 and a couple yards shy of the 1st down.
Yep, they're 2 yards short of the 1st down here. 3rd and short. Not quite in field goal range. Might have a similar situation in Pete Carroll decision if they don't get this one. But one of the things that the 49ers have built their home on over the last couple of weeks has been running the football.
Third down 2. Fake to Mitchell. Here goes Kittle. He's looking for a block, and he got it from Jennings, and look at him take it down deep. At the 4, Kittle has done it again. The receiver, Jennings, with the block. A catch and run at 28. 1st and goal to go, the Niners.
Great setup here by the 49ers. You get your running back 8 yards deep, so it feels like it's a run. You come out bootleg to Kittle. I was talking to Ken Mack, our producer, about the the skill it takes to score touchdowns. George Kittle has this, making a guy miss in the open field, deking another one, almost staying on his feet and getting in the end zone.
The Niner offense has failed to score only one time in 31 red zone possessions. First and goal. It's Mitchell, wrapped up high, takes the defender down to the 2.
Such a silky runner he is. He glides through the hole. We talked to Kyle Shanahan about his rookie from Louisiana. A lot of people don't know he's not getting the credit he deserves as a 6th-round pick. He said he always hits the right hole. And on that last run, it should have been front side. He stepped backside, got 6 yards down to the 3-yard line.
Second down goal. It's Mitchell, ramrodding his way in for the touchdown. Plummets for 2. Niners on top.
This is what makes this 49ers offensive run game so difficult to defend. You have George Kittle on the left side. He comes across. You got 2 lead blockers for your running back and Elijah Mitchell, who feels like he's not as big as he actually is. He's heavy, 215 pounds. He always finishes forward. You make contact at the half-yard line, you're losing that one.
Mitchell goes in for his 5th touchdown this season, the 2nd leading rookie rusher in the NFL, and back in Najee Harris of the Steelers. 9-play drive, and remember, it was a missed 56-yard field goal, which gave the Niners good beginning field position. They tack on another, and they lead by 7 with a minute and a half to play in an eventful first quarter. Mitchell with Juszczyk leading the way, bulldozing for 6 for San Francisco. So the touchdown run by Elijah Mitchell. He's a rookie and a 6th-round pick out of Louisiana. He is zeroing in on the Niner rookie rushing record held by Vic Washington going back to the 70s. He's closing in. He just had a 2-yard submarine dive for 6 in the ensuing kickoff. Dallas will take it out. DJ Dallas. And down he goes. Good tackle on the play by Ambry Thomas around his ankles, and a 24-yard return. Wednesday on CBS, CSI is on the hunt for one of their own. Can they save their friend and protect the legacy of the crime lab? It's the season finale of CSI Vegas, Wednesday 9 Central, here on CBS. Garoppolo has thrown a touchdown pass. He's thrown an interception. And the Niners, the 6th team right now in the NFC playoff picture, leading by 7.
It's an important drive for the Seahawks. Feels like the 49ers have their number on the other side of the ball, so they got to do something there offensively.
Oh, down he goes, crumbling right there under a huge avalanche of defenders led by Eric Armstead. He brings him down. It's a sack, his 3rd of the season, and the 2nd sack by the Niner D already.
Eric Armstead just does it quick inside moves, goes right around the guard. You got to put more resistance. Inside rushers disrupt quarterbacks a lot, especially Russell Wilson, because he's looking downfield, gets one read, no chance.
2nd down 19, it's Penny. Down he goes, Alshire. No gain on the play. Let's go to New York, and here's James.
A 16-play Ravens drive, boom. 10 minutes and 27 seconds, 99 yards. That's Devonta Freeman from 3 yards out. That's a man football. That's what Coach has been telling us here, Kevin. So hello to my new colleague, Tiki Barber there. He's with us at WFN Radio now in New York. Back to you guys.
I love it, Boomer. That's right. Throw the promos in there anytime you can. And there the ball is blown dead.
That's right, Boomer. Starting January 3rd.
Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Myself and Brandon Tierney will be on local WFAN in New York, leaving our 9 years on the national network at CBS Sports Radio. So it's an exciting opportunity for us. We're looking forward to it.
That's going to go on Arden Key, who is there moving, and the ball pushed back to the 10.
You know, one of the things that's plagued the Seattle team is 1st down inefficiencies. Up until before this drive started, they ran 4 plays. 3 of them were for negative yards.
Second, make it 3rd and 24. It's Lockett. Now Shire is there again. He has been in on almost every defensive play. 4th down, and the quarter has come to a close. The penalty on the Seahawks pushed them back. And now we go to the second with the Niners on top, 14-7 on CBS. We've had a fake punt and a touchdown run, a 73 by the Seahawks. 2 scores by the Niners, a pass to Kittle, a run by Mitchell, and we go to the second. And a punt right here, another one by the Seahawks. Benjamin under it from the 15-yard line. Travis Benjamin, he can electrify. And here he goes. Up the sideline, room to roam, and knocked out of bounds on the play. Hit by Disley and others, and a 22-yard return on a 65-yard punt. And here is all that has happened. And unfortunately, Tiki Barber, we began with a significant injury to special teamer and running back Trenton Cannon of San Francisco.
Yeah, Trenton Cannon was ambulanced out of Lumen Field, taken to the hospital, but as Melanie told us, it seems like it's just a concussion. So that's good news for the 49ers, but it has been wild. We had a 73-yard fake punt for a touchdown, a couple of turnovers. Hard to catch our breath.
It goes underneath. Here comes Kittle. Wagner on his back and rides him down near the 48. And Mel, they pick up 11 and a first down right there.
Yeah, Kevin, another injury to update you on. 49ers cornerback Emmanuel Mosley just spent an extended period of time in the blue medical tent. He's questionable with an ankle injury. He's been testing that ankle out down here on the sideline. But for now, it's rookie Diamador Lenore across from Josh Norman, and I'd expect them to be tested, guys.
And you know, Mosley has not allowed a touchdown in 51 targets this season. A starter since week 3. He's really played well. 1st and 10. Kittle just got 11. Mitchell tries to find some. Oh, and he springs free inside the 45. He did not give up and spurts his way to the 44 with a gain of 8. When he probably should have had about 8 inches, and the hit was made by Bless Austin.
Yeah, this is the beauty of Elijah Mitchell. He never stops his feet from moving, spins out. Contact is really just on his own guy. He gets the first down. We've seen him, 6th-round pick out of Louisiana Lafayette. He said in college that Billy Napier's offense was very similar to what he's doing out here, so it's allowed him to adjust quickly.
It's Mitchell. Across the 40 to the 39. Adams at the bottom of the pile. Another first down run. Picks up 5. We've had so much going on. We haven't even told you that Tom Compton is starting at the right tackle today. Jalen Moore had been a starter from time to time, but Compton at the right tackle. McGlinchey, of course, has been out. And this will be the first start of the season for the veteran, the 9-year veteran Compton at the right tackle. 1st and 10. It's Mitchell. Got a block there by Tomlinson, and a gain of 2 on the play, and brought down by Robinson, who brings him down at the 37, Tiki.
Here he is, Elijah Mitchell, 2nd in all these pertinent categories, most of them to Najee Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who gets a lot of the press of the running backs, at least the rookie running backs, because he plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But a 6th-round pick out of Lafayette, as we mentioned, kind of flew under the radar until he became the man. This 49ers offense likes to feed the hot hand, and Elijah Mitchell has been hot for a lot of weeks here.
It's a 2nd down and 8. And Mitchell again. Oh, he's as slippery as a raindrop. Look at him take it down to the 29. Hyder brings him down. We know he's returning from finger surgery against the Vikings last week. Mitchell had 133 on the ground. He picks up 9. The chains continue to move, and the Niners at the 28.
One of the beauties of Elijah Mitchell, he stops a little bit in the hold against Bobby Wagner, who does not miss tackles. He's got 5 on the season to miss, so he keeps himself moving forward. Hey, there's an instinct. There's just something else about Elijah Mitchell that it's just glorious to watch as a running back, appreciating a young running back.
Well, if anybody should know, it's you. Here's Jeff Wilson. Nice block out there by Sherfield, and out of bounds he goes and flags all over the field. as he was busting his way down near the 10. Nice run by Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get holding, though, on Trent Sherfield out on the edge. Again, I mentioned these wide receivers do a great job of blocking.
Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, I got to back up, though, to see this Elijah Mitchell play again. Because to appreciate what he does to Bobby Wagner, who's one of the great defenders in the NFL, he sees him, squares him up, stops him, and gets Bobby Wagner's feet to stop for half a second. That's all you need, is a half a second against an elite linebacker or even an average linebacker, and then you have the advantage. He took the advantage from Bobby Wagner and picked up another 7 or 8 yards.
Wilson in the backfield, 1st and 20. Garoppolo 4-7. Dropped by Kittle, covered by Adams. It's 3rd down.
Rare drop for George Kittle there. Usually very reliable. Wouldn't have picked up much. Jamal Adams is right there, but 3rd and...
No, I was
second
wrong.
down, you're right.
2nd down and 20, excuse me. The penalty was in there, and the ball at the 38-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 20, and they need the 18.
We haven't seen a screen today from Kyle Shanahan's offensive mind.
Mitchell back in. 4 100-yard games this season for Mitchell. 2nd and 20, and they blow it dead. Another flag.
Ball start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's the aforementioned John Compton.
Yeah, 38 career starts. This is his first start here in San Francisco.
Yes.
He is a veteran.
Second down and 25, and back at the 43. Niners beat Minnesota last week, 34-26. Mitchell out of the backfield will get it. Tomlinson with the block. Block in there too by Brunskill, and read well by Wagner. That's why he's so decorated, limiting him to a gain of 4 to the 39.
Oh, man. Daniel Brunskill. You robbed Elijah Mitchell out of a humongous play. All you got to do is get ahead on him. Just touch him. You don't got to block him. Just interfere with him just a little bit. Elijah Mitchell's trying to set up the block for him. He whiffs. And Bobby Wagner, but maybe why this is Bobby Wagner, is headed towards the Hall of Fame. He makes people look foolish at times, as he just did. Made a great tackle, because that was a big play waiting to happen.
The back is used check, 3rd and 21. They need the 18. And here they go across the middle. Sherfield, 6th catch of the season, picks up 7 on 3rd and 21. So it's 4th down, but they get into field goal territory, and out trots Robbie Gould of the Niners.
Yeah, this one is right inside Robbie Gould's distance that he's comfortable with here in Seattle. 50-yarder, 50-and-a-half-yarder.
It's a 50-yard try, minimal wind to build the lead. Got it right down the middle. Gould from 50. It's 17-7, the San Francisco 49ers. They've scored 10 unanswered, and he nails a 50-yarder right here. So Gould just nailed a 50-yard field goal, 17 unanswered by the Niners in the first half. 10 unanswered here in the 2nd quarter. And here we go with the ensuing kickoff, and DJ Dallas eventually knocked out of bounds by Dante Johnson. Saturday at 3 Eastern on CBS, the college football regular season concludes with one of the oldest and most respected rivalries in sports, the annual Army-Navy game. Live coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern with college football today. A game of honor, Army-Navy, Saturday here on CBS. From the 37, it's Wilson and the Seahawk offense. Couple sacks already by San Francisco. Williams was pressuring. They dump it off to the wide receiver Swain, who catches and runs for 7. Knocked out of bounds at the 44 to Mel downstairs.
Kevin, an update on Seahawks left guard Kyle Fuller, who started today for Damian Lewis, who's been out for 2 consecutive games. He has a left ankle injury. He's questionable to return. I've been sort of watching him down here testing out that ankle. His helmet's on. He's trying to get back out there, but Jake Curhan in at left guard for now.
Thank you. On that 2nd and 3, the backpedaling catch by DK Metcalf. He picks up 12 to the Niner 44.
This is something that we expected from the Seahawks earlier, but they just haven't been executing on 1st and 2nd down. That's playing with pace. It allows them a little bit of an advantage against an inexperienced second level for the 49ers.
Adrian Peterson on 1st and 10, wrapped up by Hufanga. And down he goes as he bulldozes his way to the 37 and picks up 7.
That's kind of the Adrian Peterson we're used to seeing. It's been a while since he's been vintage, but a powerful run for AP for 8 yards, setting up 2nd short. It's a lot easier for this Seahawks offensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, to call plays when it's 2nd and 3rd and short as opposed to 2nd and 3rd and long.
Dallas in the backfield. 2nd down, 3. Here goes Metcalf. Back to Russell. He gets a block. He's going deep to the end zone and off the fingertips of Lockett. Norman was there. Ward was there. Double covering. The terrific Tyler Lockett with an incomplete pass with a little razzle-dazzle.
This is clearly the game of trick plays for Seattle. You got throw back to Metcalf, who throws it back to Russell Wilson, who finds Lockett, who's double covered, and he still almost puts it on the money. I mean, that hit Tyler Lockett in the hands. I don't know if I've ever seen a better deep ball thrower than Russell Wilson. He just puts it where it needs to be, even when he's off schedule like he was on that play.
Lockett is the player down. The athletic training staff will assist him. Will step aside. The injured Seahawk Tyler Lockett walked off under his own power. They're looking at his calf. They'll go in the blue tent. We pick it up with a 3rd down and 3. Peterson to the backfield.
29. O'Brady, 29.
Seattle 0 of 4 on 3rd down. Peterson. He'll try to wedge his way in there, continuing to dig, pushing the pile, and that push may have gotten him the 1st down. All kinds of bodies in there. Josh Norman and others trying to plug the gap.
Diamador Lenore came out with the ball, but that's just old man strength from Adrian Peterson right there. He was stopped at the point of attack, but just kept pushing forward. Got some help from his offensive lineman. Wow. Stood up right there initially, but just kept driving.
33, 1st and 10, AP again. Armstead has him and will not let go, and he wrangles him down at the 31. Tiki Barber with a gain of 2.
I love watching AP run. I remember in his early days in the NFL, you'd see him break into the open field, and he'd start dipping his head, and you knew that he was not going to get caught. One of the great running backs in NFL history, 119 rushing touchdowns in his career.
He was an MVP 9 years ago, 2nd and 8. Now here they go. That's caught by Penny Hart, and they lose a yard.
Yeah.
Read well by Hufanga.
Yeah, it was read real well by Hufanga. But here's the thing. That ball sailed on Russell Wilson. Then we talked about this at the beginning of the game with his hand and some of the throws, easy throws layups that we're used to seeing him make very accurately. That one sailed a little bit on him.
Lenore is also in there for the injured Emmanuel Mosley, and Lenore had the 1st hit as they were thrown into double coverage, and well covered by the Niners, and back to the 32 where it's 3rd down and 9.
Again, another 3rd and long. These are just harder, obviously.
Timeout.
Timeout. Seattle. Their 1st of the half.
Seahawks come in 3 and 8. They've lost 3 in a row in 6 of 7 after their 2-2 start. They've lost 4 games by a total of 11. They've lost 2 games in overtime. And surprisingly, Tiki, they're only 1-4 at home, where this used to be maybe the most, aside from Arrowhead and maybe a couple others, as difficult a place to win for opposing teams as any in the NFL.
Yeah, Pete Carroll has never had a home losing record in his entire career. This is his 12th season. If they don't turn things around, this will be his first.
Russell Wilson, who a month ago was still rehabbing from surgery for a ruptured tendon in his right middle finger, came back. They said it would be 8 weeks. He came back in 4. 3rd and 9. Another whistle and another stop.
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
3rd down.
Wow, that's hard. You call
delay a game out of a timeout.
You call a timeout to prevent the delay of game. You call it, go to the sideline, figure out what play you're going to call, come back, and then get a delay of game. That makes no sense to me.
So now 3rd and 14, back at the 37. Brown, the left tackle, going deep and caught inside the 5. Grabbed by Metcalf at the 2. 1st and goal, Seattle. Wilson with a 35-yard strike.
Russell Wilson held on just long enough to get this ball out. The 49ers had a TE game with Joey Bosa, picking on the rookie, Diamador Lenore.
Down player is Jaquaski Tart, who had started the past couple games after missing 3 with an injury. 5:56 in the second quarter. Tart ran off on his own accord. Out now, 1st to goal at the 4 after the 35-yard acrobatic catch by Metcalf. Penny in the backfield, 1st and goal. Wilson to the end zone and incomplete. And there's a flag on Lenore. And they were going for the wide receiver, Freddie Swain, who caught a touchdown pass last week in Washington on Monday night.
Pass interference. Defense number 38. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball's placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
Swain's going to run just an out route and get to the back of the end zone. Diamador Lenore is responsible for him, but he's late and never turns his head around to defend that pass. Peterson's going to be a pass interference.
Peterson in, 1st and goal. With a block by Ballore, that's a touchdown for history. Adrian Peterson has just tied the great Jim Brown. 10th all-time in touchdowns at 126.
Adrian Peterson's 120th rushing touchdown. He's got 6 receiving touchdowns. As you just mentioned, Kev, he ties Jim Brown, and Jim Brown was a legend. 9 seasons with Cleveland. Led the league in so many categories for so long. Retired to become an actor, as we all know. But Adrian Peterson is one of the greats of our generation. Pete Carroll was downright giddy to have him on this team with an opportunity to do just that.
And the Seahawks have climbed to within 3 with 5.5 to go in the first half. Ballore led the way.
Once you have the edge, AP is easy sailing.
He was released by Tennessee just before Thanksgiving. He had played 3 games for the Titans at 36 years of age. He ties Jim Brown for total touchdowns at 126. You know, the Seahawks have had a history of bringing in great Hall of Famers late in their career, like Franco Harris was here. Edgerrin James was here. Jerry Rice played for the Seahawks, joining this organization at the end of their career. And tack on another name there, and Adrian Peterson, his 7th NFL team.
Feels good for AP.
And the ball in good hands. That guy's right now going on eBay and saying, hey, how much? No, I'm just kidding. The ensuing kickoff. And Benjamin will leave it in the end zone. And a touchback to the 25. And coming up on the Verizon halftime report, JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and Hall of Fame coach Bill Cowher for scores, news, highlights, headlines, all coming up from our CBS studios in New York, the Verizon halftime report. Peterson last year played with Detroit. Played for the Lions, had 7 touchdowns, played 16 games, rushed for 604. Fake to Mitchell, Garoppolo 1st and 10. He's got Kittle, Adams on him, rides him down at the 34 with a quick gain of 9 on 1st down.
So many options for Jimmy Garoppolo in this pass game. Again, it's all predicated because the threat of the run. Give a little bit of a play fake. Keep guys' eyes still for a little bit. George Kittle streaking across the middle of the field. It's easy completion for Jimmy G.
2nd down and 1. It's Mitchell. He cannot dodge the grasp of Poona Ford, the nose tackle, and limited to a gain of 2. But he's got the 1st down near the 37-yard line.
Yeah, the great thing about this San Francisco 49ers running game is there's very rarely penetration. Penetration blows up a lot of this misdirection the 49ers employ in their run game. The line is always pushing forward. The running back is always finishing forward.
Garoppolo 1st and 10. They blow that with a penalty flag. Dead.
Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
The tight end, Charlie Warner.
Charlie Warner's got a tough block to get down inside of the edge linebacker. He's got a little bit too anxious.
The defense of Seattle has defended the most plays of any defense this season. They've been on the field longer than any defense in the NFL. Ken Norton is their defensive coordinator. They come in number 32. But that is a bit deceiving because they've played well since week 4. 1st and 15. Fake to Mitchell through the hands of Ayuk.
It's a little bit too hot by Jimmy Garoppolo for Brandon Ayuk. Gets his head around just a half a second too late. So he probably can't sight that football. Actually didn't even look it in. Looking for the defender that he was going to need to make miss.
Garoppolo has thrown 12 times. They've run it 13. Over the past 3 games, they've thrown 120, or rather run 125 and passed 67. 2nd down, 15, and Jennings and all kinds of guys there getting in on him, led by Adams. Hit on the play by Umadi. And it's a gain of 8, and he's out to the 39.
Now it's 3rd and manageable, at least. See Elijah Mitchell go out of the game, and Kyle Juice, as they call him, as their 3rd down back. He's got so much versatility. Obviously, he can run the ball. He's a great blocker. He's also got 21 receptions on the season, so they use him all over the place in this offense.
Seattle timeout. Niners have 3. 2nd used by Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. Rise in halftime next. JB and company in our CBS studios. with scores and a busy weekend in the NFL. That's next, the Verizon halftime here on CBS. We were talking, our crew was, to Kyle Shanahan. He says, listen, I know their defense is number 32 in yards allowed, but they're number 7 in points allowed, number 2 in explosive plays allowed, 7th in third down defense, 6th in red zone defense. They're much better than their numbers say. 3rd and 7. Outside they go. Sherfield brought down there by Jones. Trent Sherfield out of Vanderbilt picks up 8. That's a first down and put him at the 48 of the Niners.
You see Jimmy G pointing to him, giving him dap because that was a tall pass. He had to go up and snatch that one with his fingertips. Pulls it down, and he's short of the first down, but goes and drives forward and gets just enough to keep this drive alive. About midfield.
Mitchell is in. 32 touches last week against the Vikings. It's Mitchell, and they blow it dead with a timeout.
Timeout. Seattle.
Their final
half.
Their final timeout.
Timeout. Please put 2:28 on the game clock.
We had talked before about Tom Compton making his first start this season at right tackle. Glinchey was lost to injury. But this line with the veteran at the center and Alex Mack and the others there, and the 8-time Pro Bowler left tackle Trent Williams having a terrific season.
Yeah, he always is so steady, both as a pass blocker, but I think more importantly for this 49ers team, as a run blocker. You see him 5-6 yards downfield, hustling, getting chips on guys, planting guys.
Niners today have thrown more than they've run. 1st and 10. 3 timeouts. Plus the 2-minute. Block right there by Brunskill as they give it off to Mitchell. And no gain on the play, and Wagner is there. Gain of 4 on the play as they take it down to the 48 with Wagner making the stop.
You see San Francisco is just running their regular offense here. They're not playing with an urgency. We're just outside of 2 minutes, so there's plenty of time for stoppages. They have all 3 of their timeouts should they need them, so they don't have to do anything special here. It feels like there's an urgency because we're up against a 2-minute drill, but they don't really need to do anything other than what they've been doing.
2nd and 6. Two-minute warning. And 3 timeouts for Garoppolo and the Niners, who lead by 3 on CBS. A lot of 49er fans here in Seattle. Running plays 14, passing plays 14, Tiki.
Yeah, you know, this 49ers offense has been so much about the run the last couple of weeks, but Kyle Shanahan told us that the Seahawks stop the run first. They're 4 up, 5 up, sometimes 6. So we see a lot more in the passing game from San Fran.
2nd and 6. Here they go. Kittle is on the move. Oh, and he broke the tackle. Kiss him goodbye. If he didn't step out of bounds, he's in. 48-yard touchdown catch and run. George Kittle has scored for his 2nd time.
What did I tell you about having a skill to score touchdowns? Running with pace to the sideline. George Kittle somehow balances himself, pulls his momentum back towards the field, tiptoes down the sideline, in, all inbounds. The side judge checked. Looks like this one's going to stand, and George Kittle, amazing, inbounds, amazingly scores an unbelievable touchdown for the San Francisco 49ers.
Kittle has caught 2 touchdowns today. Early on from 24, they had a catch and run for 48. Gold will try to tack on one more, and no, hits the upright. He misses a PAT for the first time this season. And it stays 23-14 Niners. And Kittle, who missed 3 games mid-season, and is in the top 10 in tight end receiving yards, is having a huge day with 5 catches, 121 yards, and 2 touchdown receptions.
George Kittle is lined up right here. He's just going to run a shallow cross, simple pitch and catch from Jimmy Garoppolo, and then he gets to the sideline and just turns himself up. Such a great athlete. Body control, awareness of where he is, spatial awareness on the sideline. Kind of missed that chest bump with Jimmy G, but that's all right.
That's the only thing they missed. Kittle has been terrific.
The Seahawks do not have any timeouts remaining, spending 3 in the last few minutes. Down 9 right before halftime.
With the kickoff here, DJ Dallas on the move from the 10 for Seattle. Leaving his way, and he's finally brought down by special teamer Ambry Thomas. It is a 25-yard return, and Russell Wilson will have no timeouts at 1:42 with which to work, and the ball at his own 35-yard line.
We're going to see a lot of outs here. I know that DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who is now back in the game after kicking his calf and being out for a series. Expect a deep cross at some point. It's the one route that Russ is really comfortable with Tyler Lockett, especially in zone coverage.
First and 10. And across the middle. That's Everett. Rolled over that time with a gain of 5. Hufanga was the one who gets him. Second down and 5. Here's Metcalf. Knocked out of bounds by Lenore, taking the place of the injured Emmanuel Mosley. By the way, that is the defensive stand right here that we see, and Tart is still in the game, which is good news. Got back in after being injured. First and 10. Wilson short underneath. Grabbed this time by Homer for 2. Shire was there.
So close to being an interception.
Yep, and a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 98, 15-yard penalty, first down.
On Arden Key.
No need to give the Seahawks any free yardage here. As we watch the hit here, Arden Key coming around. Ooh, yeah, you lead with your head into a quarterback's head. Penalty every time.
First down and 10. Travis Homer. Hufanga there once again with a gain of 4 down to the 30.
And again, still have a minute left here, so there's plenty of time as long as they move with some urgency.
Second down and 6. Underneath, Homer at that time. Azeez Al-Shaair.
Now, points are so important here because the San Francisco 49ers do get the ball to start the second half.
Third down 2. Homer remains. Wilson. Eskridge. A rookie out of Western Michigan will dance his way down to near the 15-yard line and a pickup of 10. Raywan Williams was there.
Great job by Dwayne Eskridge. Catching this ball, first of all, but more importantly, staying on his feet, not getting tackled in bounds.
Wilson to the end zone and just out of the reach of Metcalf, running out of room in the corner.
Matched up on Josh Norman, veteran cornerback who's had some struggles this year. Lots of penalties, holding and such, but got away with a little one there. That was just a little bit of a poor throw by Russell Wilson. Otherwise, DK Metcalf had Josh beat.
Second down and 10. Seattle out of timeouts. at the 49er 15. Wilson to the end zone, incomplete over the head of Everett. Norman was there. Yellow on the field, flag thrown at about the 22.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 92. That's half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down for Seattle.
Omenahu.
Again, another high hit on Russell Wilson. If your head goes to his head, you're going to get called every single time. You got to be smarter than this in critical points. He also landed on him. That body mass penalty is something that I haven't seen called a lot of, but it's still roughing passer.
It's first and goal with 18 seconds before halftime. And he's got him for a touchdown, Eskridge. First NFL touchdown reception. 7-yard strike. And the Seahawks are back in business.
Yeah, this is on the rookie, Diamador Lenore. He'll learn this as he gets older and more experience. There's no number 2 coming to the flat. So even though they're in zone coverage, he could play this as man and not let Dwayne Eskridge stay so free, break a tackle and score a touchdown. Great drive by the Seahawks to get points on the board just before half.
With one more on there, it's a 2-point game with 12 seconds to go in the first half. So we've seen a fake punt, the scoring for the Seahawks, a fake punt and a touchdown run of 73 to get the game underway. Moments ago, we saw a 1-yard touchdown run by Adrian Peterson, and right there a 7-yard touchdown pass to rookie D. Eskridge.
So much of this drive was predicated on mistakes by the San Francisco 49ers. 2 enormous roughing the passer penalties that one moved the Seahawks deeper into 49ers territory and then gave them a first down inside the 10. Russell Wilson's too good of a quarterback, too much history, too much pride to not take advantage of opportunities they're just going to hand over.
So coming into this afternoon, San Francisco was number 6 in the NFC, having won 4 of 5 after losing 4 straight. And this is the way it looked coming into this weekend. Now, we can tell you, even at 3-8, there is a minuscule mathematical chance for the Seahawks, but all they're right now trying to do is stop a 3-game losing streak. I think it was a 2% chance mathematically for them. They're 3-8 coming in. Kickoff will be in the end zone with a touchback to the 25 and 12 seconds to play in the first half.
Interesting, Kevin. It's likely the 17th game that still gives them a chance. At 8-8,
that changes a lot of things for a lot of teams.
It really does. At 8-8, you're likely not making the postseason in the NFC this year, but you can get to 9-8. Absolutely, you can. When we talk to them, they have a belief that they can get this done. Quandre Diggs said, absolutely, no question, we have the confidence to believe that we can win out.
Well, San Francisco had a 10-point lead, but it's down to 2 at the half. Halftime is next here from Seattle. After these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Team in the Pacific Northwest with Tiki Barber. A look at some of the numbers through 30 minutes of football.
Yeah, it looks like the Seattle Seahawks are out rushing them, but 73 of those 108 came on one play. And that was a fake punt that the Seahawks ran on their first series. Here's Travis Homer. The edge is unprotected. Larry Izzo, the great Larry Izzo, special teams coordinator, calls a trick play that Travis Homer takes to the house. And then we see a ballerina act from a tight end. George Kittle getting down the sideline, tiptoeing, keeping his feet in bounds. Magic trick into the end zone as the San Francisco 49ers score. Unfortunately, their defense could not stop them as the Seahawks come down and score right before halftime. the San Francisco 49ers will get the ball after halftime.
And passing more than running because there are more people up front for the Seattle defense.
That's exactly right. Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive mind. We all know this. And a lot of their success over the last 3 weeks has been predicated on the run game. But he knows that the Seahawks play this team with a heavy box. So there's 5 guys at the line of scrimmage. There's a linebacker very shallow. That would be Bobby Wagner, the great Bobby Wagner. So we're seeing more throwing passes or more passing attempts than we are rushing attempts.
Benjamin only fumbles the ball, and it was recovered. I don't know. It's a hootenanny there at the 25 to see who's got it, because 2 guys got it at the same time, it looked like.
This is a scramble for who's
Travis
strongest.
Homer on it. Oh, he is. Seattle has gotten the ball.
Travis Homer, who scored that aforementioned fake punt touchdown with those cannon arms, pulls the ball away from the San Francisco 49ers. The fumble was caused by Nick Ballore, who came in and nailed Travis Benjamin.
And this is the first time that Benjamin has returned kicks all season. He's played before, but he has not returned kicks until today.
Yeah, cardinal mistake by Travis Benjamin as well. Going down the left sideline, he has that ball in his inside arm. Now, it sounds simple, right? But when contact is coming to you and you're running down the sideline, it's coming from the inside. So put the ball on the outside. Huge mistake by San Francisco to start this second half.
What other twists and turns is this game going to give us? My goodness, it has had a little bit of everything, and watch it once again.
Here it is. Ball's in the wrong hand. It's got to be on the outside. Travis Benjamin called into duty because Trenton Cannon, their normal kick returner, was taken out of the game on a stretcher on the first play.
Lockett on 1st and 10, picks up the short gain. Mel to the 21 on a gain of 5.
Yeah, Kevin, Kyle Shanahan described that first half as frustrating. He said, we're doing a lot of good things. We've just had too many self-inflicted wounds. He referenced the 2 roughing the passer penalties. He said, we've got to be more disciplined. As for Pete Carroll, he was brief. He said the offense was good there in the first half, but with the way things went, we need to settle down, Kevin.
Thank you, Mel. 2 tight ends, 2nd and 5 in the backfield. It is Penny who tries to work his way in there and crashes into the defense. Jones and others there with a gain of 3 and put him, Tiki Barber, at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, the 49ers have given up too much yardage on 1st and 2nd downs to the Seahawks team. Normally a 30% conversion on 3rd down. The Seahawks are 3 of 7, so not quite 50%, but much better than they have been previously.
2 turnovers for San Francisco. 1 turnover for Seattle. 3rd down and 2. Russell Wilson, Metcalf to the 11. And he picks up 8.
And this is the advantage that the Seahawks have. A big body in DK Metcalf going against Josh Norman, who gets faked at the line of scrimmage, giving up the inside release. Easy throw for Russ. 1st down now, tight in the red zone.
First down and 10. It's Penny, and he carves his way for a gain of 3 near the 8.
Elijah Penny, who had a hamstring injury last week, gave the start away to Adrian Peterson today, but he's such a hard runner. Heavy body, gets downhill, picks up 3 yards in a cloud of dust, as they like to say.
2nd down. The hesitant Penny running into his own blocker. Gabe Jackson couldn't get out of the way, but he does gain 3, and he pushes the ball to the 5. There's a look at Shane Waldron, who comes from the Rams' offensive philosophy, which is a new philosophy for Russell Wilson.
It is a little bit of different philosophy, and, you know, Russ missed some time. They've had a lot of injuries on this offense, in particular with Russell Wilson, so getting up to speed hasn't been the easiest thing.
Fumbled kickoff by San Francisco, 3rd and 4. Wilson trying to exploit. Go! Dropped! Intercepted! K'Wan Williams ricochet. Oh, what a turn of events. Everett had it, and it ricocheted up and on the deflection. It was reeled in by K1 Williams.
Gerald Everett, as we used to say. One catch per ball. He tried to get 2, 3, kicked it. Great job by K1 Williams, snagging that one.
The tight end Everett's had a rough day. Lost a fumble in the first half as well, and had that one ricochet off his mitts at the goal line, which would have been 6. And on 1st and 10, it's Mitchell trying to wheel his way free. Nothing there. Stopped on the play. Hit by Woods. Let's go back to the pick.
Yeah, we got to check this out. Look, we get 1 catch. No, 2 catches. No, let me kick that thing. And dropped it up here. Great job by K1 Williams. Awareness. Here's Travis Benjamin. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Gerald Everett. Thank you. Can I buy you his dinner?
Yes. 2nd and 10. Williams, fiddle with a block to the 5, gaining 2, hit by Monet.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell's trying to get downhill. It's always tough when you're this far backed up in your own territory. Even though it is an opportunity to go 95, that's the mindset you got to have when you're backed up down here and you're a running back.
That's what you'd think when you were playing?
That's what I would think. Happened once against Oakland.
It did. I remember. 3rd and 8. Juszczyk in the backfield. Garoppolo, here they come. Grabbed. Dunlap. I thought he had face mask, but they get him in the end zone. It's a safety, and that ties the game in another crazy twist.
What is going on this afternoon in Seattle?
Watch the helmet. Nope, it was the jersey.
It was the shoulder pad.
Good replay. It was all jersey. Dunlap gets the sack, his 1st of the year, 89th of his career, and a 2-point play, a safety. And that ties the game at 23.
Carlos Dunlap, 13th season. So many years with the Cincinnati Bengals. Gets traded last year. Thought it was going to be a huge opportunity for him and for the Seahawks. This year, however, he hasn't had a ton of snaps. Huge play he just made, though. You see Kyle Shanahan on the sidelines. Got to be shaking his head, as Melanie told us from her halftime report. It's all self-inflicted errors. Not being aware on the punt. Personal fouls on Russell Wilson right before the half. You have a fumble by Travis Benjamin. Now a safety. You got a tie ball game. This has been bizarre.
And as you know, they punt the ball. After a safety, so the Seahawks, who just scored to tie the game, are going to get it. Mitch Wisnowski will set to Buchas. He also kicks off for the team on the tee. DJ Reed is back at the 25 for Seattle. Sends up a rocket, retrieved at about the 12. Reed, a former 49er, waived by the team last year. 20-yard return to Mel on the sideline.
Well, Kevin, something to note as that Seahawks pass rush finally gets home. Defensive line has had a hard time in that first half creating a pass rush. So Clint Hurt, the defensive line coach, has made his way down from the booth upstairs to the sideline down here to start the second half.
Well, thank you.
Makes you wonder if there's a communication issue.
There might be, yeah.
Ken Norton, the defensive coordinator, does not have his headset on. Nothing better than communicating face-to-face.
Running back is Rashad Penny. It's 1st down and 10. Penny with the block. Gets Williams. Russell Wilson. Lockett. And looks like he's got it right in front of Josh Norman. He does. What a catch. 46, 16-yard first down throw.
Yeah, you have single high man coverage here. Josh Norman, too committed to his back pedal. It's an easy comeback.
Wilson with the 1st and 10. This is Penny. He claws his way up, and there's not much there to the 49-yard line. 3-yard gain to Boomer and James.
Raider up back to Kevin and Tiki in Seattle.
Boomer, thank you very much. Washington beat this Seattle team Monday night in the nation's capital. 2nd down, good block by Penny. Here goes Russ. Got him. Caught by Eskridge. In front of Flanagan fouls. It's a 17-yard pickup.
Rashad Penny.
Wow, Hufanga was coming in.
Rashad Penny, that's a hard block to make. The DB's coming with pace. You got to get him down. That's Hufanga. You got to get him down on the ground so Rush has a clear line to the wide receiver.
Oh, easy.
Eskridge having a pretty good day this afternoon.
Adrian Peterson is in.
No, hey, kill. Okay, go. 45, go. There you go.
1st and 10. Peterson with a spinning move and a block in there by the tight end. Disley, and he gets about 2 on the play to the 31, inside the 32.
You can see the San Francisco 49ers trying to get aggressive. D'Amico Ryans, their first-year defensive coordinator, knows that he's got to try to force something to happen. That's why you see Russ at the line of scrimmage calling out different instructions. Kill means he's calling off one play for another one.
While Shire had that last stop, DJ Dallas in the backfield, 2nd down and 8. Wilson 20 of 24. Shell the block at the right tackle, going deep for Metcalf. Out of bounds. Josh Norman right there with him. Incomplete. Boy, they're looking at Metcalf a lot this afternoon.
Yeah, DK Metcalf with his size and speed is a disadvantage for the 49ers. Josh Norman, who's lost a step over the years. And also you have a young corner, Diamador Lenore, on the other side.
And he's in because Emmanuel Mosley is out with an injury in the first half. 3rd and 8. Oh, the pocket's getting messy. And down he goes. Hit in the play, Arden Key. All kinds of bodies in there. 3rd sack on Russell Wilson today. Back to the 39.
Arden Key right here. Beats his man quickly. That's Jake Curran, who's in at left guard for Kyle Fuller. Great with his hands. Putting pressure on Russ, getting him down. Setting up a 4th down. They will punt this time as opposed to kicking a field goal. Remember the last time they were in this almost exact spot, they tried a field goal that was way short for Jason Myers.
So to punt is Michael Dixon. And they stop the play because the play clock goes to 0 and a flag has been thrown. Ayuk is deep back for San Francisco. In this game, we've seen a fake punt touchdown, a safety, a historic 1-yard touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Kittle with a acrobatic ballerina-like move on the sideline. 1 of 2 touchdown receptions for him. Fair caught at the 8. And the Niners are going to get a 36-yard well-placed punt on CBS. The selection of notable 49er special cleats. My Cause, My Cleats initiative being worn today. Second start inside the 10, 1st and 10 after the punt. Garoppolo with time. And short and wrapped up at the 10. Boy, there was no place to run, no place to hide, and a gain of 3 on the play, and it goes to Mitchell and downstairs to Mel.
Well, our guy Trent Green couldn't be with us this week, but he sent his amazing Air Force Ones in his place for My Cause, My Cleats. Trent and his wife Julie helped start the Hike program with Phoenix Family, and specifically a reading program for lower income areas in Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas. An amazing literacy program, and you can bid on these cleats by going to NFL.com/auction, Kevin.
Thank you, Mel. Trent was recently voted the kindest Kansas City in an award he received a couple months ago. 2nd down and 7. The pitch out to Mitchell. Good block by Kittle. Blocked by Williams. And doused on the play by Monet. He painted a nice defensive picture there. It's a gain of 2, and he's out near the 13.
Yeah, it looked like there could have been more to be had on that particular run. Good job by Seattle's defense flowing over the top and cutting off the lane. Once Elijah Mitchell gets downhill, especially because these edge blockers are so violent with their blocks. You see George Kittle running into contact, blasting the edge defender out of that.
This might be the loudest this building has been all season long. 3rd and 5. Mack the snap. Garoppolo, and he's got his receiver, Ayuk, who's grabbed by Diggs and Russell down. 1st down throw to the 34 on 3rd and 5. He picks up 21 for a 1st down.
Here you see Brandon Ayuk just finds the space in the middle of this zone. Andre Diggs, a little bit too much respect. He doesn't want him to run by. Jimmy Garoppolo puts it right on the money. The 1st down and quiets down this Lumen Field Stadium.
Ayuk has caught 12 3rd down passes this year. He has converted every one of them for a 1st down. 12 for 12. 1st down and 10. And downfield, intercepted on the play and picked up by Diggs. Here he goes to the sideline, another turnover.
This is just a mistake by Jimmy Garoppolo, believing that they're going to invert into 2 high safety. They stay single high with Quandre Diggs here. You have the seam crosser, just I don't know who he's throwing the football to, Jimmy Garoppolo, because he had the corner. Maybe too much faith in George Kittle. We talked about how Jimmy Garoppolo believes that George Kittle is his clutch player, but you can't force it to him. You see Kyle Shanahan on the sideline discussing exactly that.
It's 1st and 10. Penny was in the backfield. Look out, here comes Williams. There goes the pass. Caught by Disley. And read well. Dante Johnson over there. Ward combining on the stop. It's a gain of 5, and they'll put him down to the 23. Diggs with his 4th pick. Garoppolo has thrown 2 interceptions with his 2 touchdowns to Kittle. 2nd down 5. Swain. Holding on for dear life was Norman. It's a gain of 7. On the 2nd down and 5, and it's a 1st down. Put him at the 16 of the Niners.
Yeah, Josh Norman is bailing out here. Makes for an easy throw for Russell Wilson. Easy decision for Russell Wilson to kick it out to Swain. You got single high. This is the matchup to look at.
It's 1st and 10. Penny trying to dodge defenders and wrapped up by Bosa as he swerves for 2 and down to the 14.
Joey Bosa has so much. Nick Bosa, excuse me, not his brother. Nick Bosa has so much energy rushing the passer, coming off of it, and making the tackle. There's some space out there on the edge.
2nd down 8. Tight end Disley. Hit on the play by Johnson. It's a gain of 2 near the 12. Seattle has gotten no points today despite starting drives at the Niner 28 and 26 and here at the 28. 3 times They've had it. This is the third. The previous 2-0. Let's see what they get here. 3rd and 6. And another short field to work with for the Seattle offense. Homer in the backfield. They get around Shell to the end zone. Lockett! Touchdown! He beat Josh Norman. Seahawks have taken the lead.
Tyler Lockett is not the fastest guy in the world, but he is shifty at the line of scrimmage. And his relationship with Russell Wilson on these arcing balls, not a deep ball, but an arcing ball, has been sublime for years. It's always exactly where it needs to be, and Tyler Lockett always seems to catch them when they fall into his hands.
Wilson today with his 2nd touchdown throw. Here is the extra point by Myers. It is true in a 7-point Seattle lead. They led once early, and they've recaptured it here. Tyler Lockett just caught a touchdown pass at 12 yards after Diggs intercepted Jimmy Garoppolo. And they get 16 unanswered points now. Seattle over San Francisco, and have taken a lead. They led early 7-0.
Yeah, they've just taken advantage of the mistakes that the 49ers have made. Diggs went over, and at least he got a dap from Tyler Lockett.
It's Hasty, who's taking the place of Benjamin, returning kicks, because Benjamin turned it over the last time. That's a 23-yard return.
Here's been the dominance of the Seattle Seahawks over the last 19 meetings. 4 wins for the 49ers, 15 for the Seattle Seahawks. This is since 2012, which is the Russell Wilson era here in Seattle. Regardless of the streaks, San Francisco comes in on a 3-game winning streak. Seattle Seahawks come in on a 3-game losing streak. They're having one of the best games that they've had in months here in Seattle.
1st and 10. It's Mitchell. Wants to go with the block, Mack with the block, and then he is stoned as he takes it up into the grasp of Jordan Brooks. Gain of 5, 35-yard line to Boomer and James in New York.
Good-looking drive by the in Seattle.
Well, he loves Deontay Johnson, and there he hits him. Juju Smith-Schuster is out for the season. Johnson has become his guy. Thank you, guys. 2nd down and 5. Garoppolo. Use check with the block, and this is Mitchell trying to turn the corner. There he is again. Jordan Brooks wraps him up. And a gain to the 38. It's a gain of 4 and a couple to go for a first.
Yeah, but here comes our friend Quandre Diggs. Elijah Mitchell usually breaks this type of tackle, but Diggs is right there to stone him. What a great hit to stop the momentum of Elijah Mitchell, who's a strong runner, and prevent him from getting the first down.
3rd down defense for Seattle since week 4, the 3rd best in the NFL. 3rd and 1 here for San Francisco. Mitchell hit, plugged.
He didn't get it.
The ball is loose. They say it's a fumble. Well, it is a fumble, and Seattle has gotten another turnover. You've got to be kidding.
If anything can go wrong, it's going wrong for the San Francisco 49ers. The question is his knee down? It's hard to see from these angles that we're seeing, but he got hit hard. I think his knee is down before that ball comes loose. They will obviously look at it.
Mayowa made the hit. Injured player, we step aside. Such a picturesque setting for these two stadiums, the home of the Mariners, the home of the Seahawks. They ruled it that the knee was down. It was not a fumble. They did that while we were away. So it is 4th and 1, and the offense stays out there for San Francisco. This feels like a big play here.
Yeah, this is a huge play. Momentum has completely shifted to the Seahawks, and Kyle Shanahan feels that, so he keeps his offense out on the field. His stud rookie running back, Elijah Mitchell, is on the sideline. We'll get an update on him.
Jermichael Hasty is in, 4th and 1. Garoppolo will take it himself. He's trailed. He didn't get it with a flag. Mayo again was one of the first to get him, along with Wagner, and hit by Woods. There was no running space. The flag thrown at the 36.
I understand trying to be creative, but zone read is not exactly Jimmy Garoppolo's forte.
The play was very close to a delay of game.
Illegal snap. Offense number 50. A 5-yard penalty. 4th down. Please reset the game clock to 34 seconds.
Now they bring on the punt team. It's really interesting, this false snap.
That's the decorated Alex Mack.
Yeah.
Punting unit is out there for San Francisco.
One thing that we have not seen in a couple of weeks is backup quarterback Trey Lance. If you're going to try a play like that on 4th down, doesn't it make sense to bring in Trey Lance?
31-yard punt. The penalty, though, when you take a look back, as we just tie that up, really benefited them because,
of course,
I mean, my goodness.
Of course.
Look where they would have been and look where they are now.
That's right.
So the penalty helped. The punt was sent. It's at the 29. And there's a... Is that a challenge flag or is that just someone's sweatband? That...
49ers colored towel.
It's 1st and 10. Wilson, Penny, and slowed up there nicely on the play by DJ Jones, who's had a couple of nice plays. No gain on the play. They remain just outside their 28. Quarter comes to a close. 16 unanswered points by Seattle to lead by 7 on CBS. 40 degrees here at Lumen Field, downtown Seattle. Seattle has scored 30 points today, leading by 7. The 30 points they've scored the previous 3 games, a total of 28. They line up with a 2nd down and 10 to start the 4th quarter. On the block at the left tackle, and up it goes to Lockett, who found a crevice and went through to the 40 and picks up a first and a gain of 11 yards. And Hufanga is the one to get him.
So smart by Russell Wilson here. He sees a single high look, sees him drop back into his zone, knows that there's going to be a pocket right there. Just gets the ball out of his hand to Tyler Lockett for an easy 11 yards.
Empty backfield and 5 wide with the 1st and 10. Look out from behind. They got him. Willis, Jordan Willis, inactive last week. The former Jet comes up and jumps on Russ. 4th sack today, authored by the San Francisco D back to the 40.
Jordan Willis is down here, just runs right around Dwayne Brown, just goes around him. Russell Wilson actually runs or escapes into this sack. Huge play defensively for Seattle to stunt some of this Seattle momentum.
So they're at the 40. They lose 10. It's 2nd and 20 with the sack. Willis's first of the year. Moving up nicely. It's the deck, and down he goes near the 35 with a gain of 4. Alshire is the one who brings him down. Mel?
Well, Kevin, Seattle starting safety Jamal Adams officially ruled out of this game with a shoulder injury, and then running back Elijah Mitchell for the 49ers after taking that brutal shot to the head was evaluated in the blue medical tent by the independent neurologist for a head injury. He is questionable, but he's sitting down here on the bench. I just saw him look at Kyle Juszczyk, and he said, I'm good, so hopefully that's a good sign.
On the San Francisco side, thank you, Mel. Mosley out in the first half, so they're digging deep into their depth in the secondary. 3rd and 16. They need the 50. Oh, hit as he threw, and it could be picked off. Alshire. It hit the turf. Wilson was just drilled on the play.
Arden Key coming around, bringing the pressure here. Russell Wilson lets this one go.
And Bosa
as well, right into the helmet of his guard, his tackle. This,
he did not control it.
He did not control it, but he did get his hands on it. That's just actually his guard, Gabe Jackson, who he drilled in the side of the head. Game of inches, man. Game of inches.
Yep. They will not rule that.
No.
He did not control through the...
If he would have kept his left hand underneath that football, you could argue that it's an interception. Even though he caught it cleanly, when he hit the ground, it moved significantly without his hand underneath the football. That's an incomplete pass.
Now Shire is making his first start today at middle linebacker because of the injury to Fred Warner. He says, wait a minute. It's fourth down. Here comes the punting unit.
He doesn't understand. It's like, bro, man, that was an interception.
Or he's thinking sleepless in Seattle. One of the two. The punt by Dixon. Ayuk will let it bounce. Gets it on a roll. Stranded at the 8, and down he goes. Freddie Swain got him. What a punt by Dixon.
I usually wouldn't espouse picking up the punt like this, but so disappointed. So disappointed.
Football's iconic show Inside the NFL, streaming Tuesdays at 9:30 on Paramount+. A punt, a 58 net. They flip the field at the 8. San Francisco takes over. Third straight start inside their own 10. The fake to Mitchell. And a nice spinning catch is made. Juszczyk, who is knocked off his horse by Reed, gets it to the 21 and tumbles for 13 with a Niner. Much needed first down and breathing space.
Yeah, most certainly. You get some space away from your own goal line. Jimmy Garoppolo puts a perfect back shoulder throw here to Kyle Juszczyk, who catches it cleanly. He's like a tight end, even though he's a fullback. He does everything for this team. Finally gives them some breathing room. They've had 4 drives to start this half. The average start was the 12-yard line, and they have not crossed the 50.
Garoppolo, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, first and 10. Mitchell will cut and picks up a couple, and he's got Al Woods around his legs. He's at the 23.
Good to see Elijah Mitchell back in this game. They are going to need this run game to get themselves back on track. Just over 11 and a half minutes left in this game, and something we haven't seen in a few weeks, Kevin. The San Francisco 49ers are losing the time of possession battle, 22 minutes to 26 to Seattle Seahawks. The last 3 weeks have been 38 minutes, 37 minutes, and 36 minutes.
Second down, 8. Compton the block. Ayuk, and knocked away by DJ Reed. Incomplete, 3rd and 8 coming up for San Francisco.
Outstanding coverage by DJ Reed, getting his hand in there. Here's the ISO. Does a good job. He sticks and grabs him just a little bit, but not enough to cause a penalty. It was right before the ball got there. Disrupted the trajectory of that pass. Knocks it down.
Kittle has been quiet in the second half. 3rd down and 8. Blocked by Williams downfield. Hyatt got it right in front of Reed. And they'll say he is down at the 46 on a pickup of 22 on 3rd down and 8 and a Niner first down.
Pete Carroll's going to argue that this is incomplete. And he might be right. He throws a challenge flag. Brandon Ayuk catches this football. Never really tucks it. As we get a replay of this, catches, 1 foot down, 2 foot down.
The field was a complete pass.
Turns over,
Seattle has
shoulder,
that rule.
ball comes out, doesn't complete the ball to the ground.
They'll look at it again, and we'll step aside with 10:52 to play in the fourth from Seattle. What a terrific rivalry this has been and continues with today. 3 consecutive wins, Seattle over the Niners. On that 3rd and 8, they ruled an incomplete pass. As they took a look at it, successful challenge by Seattle. And this is caught by Swain, hurdling a defender. Juszczyk and takes it near midfield.
Going to get an illegal block in the back here. This will come
Flag.
back.
Yep, you're right.
But let's go take a look at the incompletion for Brandon Ayuk.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 59. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Jimmy Garoppolo does a good job getting this ball into Brandon Ayuk into the zone, but you have to survive the ground. He has not become a runner at any point before going to the ground. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. They initially ruled it completion. Pete Carroll is about out to the hash. Eventually through the challenge. It was a great challenge as they get the ball back now and stymie another 49ers drive. They still haven't crossed the 50-yard line in the second half of this game.
Gene Steratore joined us during that break and walked us through it. Tiki saw it. Forsythe is playing the right tackle. Shell is out. It's 1st and 10. Bosa allows only a 1-yard run by Penny. Let's go to New York. James and Boomer. Sweet music. Washington has got a couple in a row. Here's a quick throw looking for Lockett on that 2nd down and 9. He picks up 5. Tart was over there among others. And they put the ball at the 33.
3rd and manageable here for the Seahawks. Quick out, easy completion for Russ. Just feels like the 49ers can't find their way in this second half. The big plays haven't been there. The running game has been stymied.
3rd down 4. The rookie right tackle will take on Bosa on this one. They double Bosa. They go underneath. They don't get it. It's caught by Everett. Banged on the play by K'Wan Williams on a gain of 2 and a flag on the far side. He got to the 35.
They're going to call personal foul. Legal. Defensive receiver hit to the helmet.
Personal foul. Defense number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down, Seattle.
On Dante Johnson.
Dante Johnson, K'Wan Williams has made this play. He goes high, helmet to helmet. They're always going to call that one. In the interest of player safety. But it just continues the narrative that the 49ers have been living all day. Mistake after mistake, big penalties after big penalty. The 8th penalty on the day.
1st and 10 midfield. Penny. Finds a gap. Holding on for dear life. They had Ward and they had Norman. And he tracks him down to the 40 with a gain of 10 and a first down.
The issue that usually plagues, or at least has plagued, the Seattle Seahawks defense over the last few weeks is now probably getting to the 49ers. They've been on the field a lot in the second half. You just get worn down.
With a 1st and 10. Fake to Penny. Here comes Bosa. There goes the pass. Deflected, incomplete for Everett. With the coverage by Dante Johnson, who now has taken the place of Lenore in the secondary. And both are replacing the injured Emmanuel Mosley, who is out. It is 2nd and 10.
I see Nick Bosa, who was in on that pressure, just slowly walking back to the huddle. Doesn't feel like the energy that we're used to seeing from him. It's another take on what we just mentioned, being on the field for a long time.
2nd and 10 with Rashad Penny back there with Russ. Quick throw. It's Penny dancing, slipping, driving, and chased out of bounds. What a catch and run. In the blink of an eye, Seattle has picked up 27. Rashad Penny weaving his way to the the 13. It's 1st and 10 Seattle.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans dials up a blitz off the edge. They have a screen. Rashad Penny just weaves his way to the other side of the field. A huge play in the making. As the Seattle Seahawks get down inside the red zone, Adrian Peterson runs back on the field. He's trying to pass Jim Brown.
1st and 10. Peterson in the backfield. Adrian Peterson inside the 10. Ward hit him first. Gain of 4. Put him at the 9.
Yeah, you might start to see a little bit of a change in philosophy for the Seattle Seahawks. Now that they're in scoring position, instead of being as up-tempo as they've been at points in this game, use more of that clock, even though they're out of the huddle quickly here. There's 20 seconds still left in the play clock.
2nd down, 6. Peterson cuts. Knifes his way near the 7 with a gain of 2. And once again was hit in the secondary by Tart.
9th carry on the day for AP. Only 17 yards, but he's getting the tough ones. Still running with some energy.
The number 5 all-time rusher in back of Emmitt Smith and Sanders, Gore, Walter Payton, 3rd and 4. 9th play of the drive. They'll take a breather now. Homer has come in. Timeout Seattle. 1st with 7:05 to go in the 4th and moving well. Well, it's been a busy day in the National Football League, as you know, and some big games. Every week in the NFL becomes huge. Cincinnati lost at home today to the Chargers. Herbert and that Los Angeles team winning. The Cardinals got the lift they wanted from the return of Kyler Murray. And Tom Brady beat Atlanta. And the first win for Dan Campbell and the Lions. And they dedicated the win today to Oxford High School, the scene of that killing earlier this week in the state of Michigan. 3rd and 4. Homer the back. Wilson, Forsythe the block, crumbling pocket. Nice catch by Homer. He'll be shy by the length of the football, picking up 3. And Flanagan Fowles was there.
It is 4th and inches here. Offense stays out on the field.
Just shy of the 8. Excuse me, the 3. Just shy of the 3. They began back down that low at the 8. It's 4th and 1. Is he getting them to jump, or is he going to go for it?
No, I feel like this is a knockout opportunity for the Seahawks.
It's Homer. He's got the first. Submarining and blasting his way inside the 2. On a gain of 2. It's 1st and goal, Seattle.
At 3 and 8, you don't have anything to lose. Right? This is a division game against a rival. Psychological or not, you have a significant advantage over the last 19 and now 20 games. Despite how the last month has gone for the Seahawks, they believe in themselves.
There's also a new left guard in there, Jake Curhan, who is taking the place of the starter, Kyle Fuller, who was replacing the injured Damian Lewis for Seattle. So 2 new linemen out there for the Seahawks. Forsythe, who is a rookie out of Florida in a 6th-round pick, 78 and 74, Curhan. He is a rookie, free agent out of Cal, now playing the left guard. 2 rookies, and Russ has got the answers he's want. And here comes Adrian Peterson back out onto the field as well for Homer. 1st and goal, 5-minute drive, ball at the 1.
quick stoppage for a player that they were checking on. Now the Seahawks get back that work.
It's Peterson putting his head down, ramming his way. Nothing. Great defensive stop right there. Hit by a couple, including DJ Jones. And we've said his name a couple times today.
He's done a good job of penetrating to the A's and B gaps.
As the clock continues to roll. Second and goal at the 1.
It's a huge, huge defensive possession for the 49ers. And again, they've been on the field a lot.
Second goal, Ballora block. Hurdling is Peterson, then drilled at the 2. Flanagan fouls, was right there. They throw him for a 1-yard loss in the play. Another good defensive play by the 49ers.
And even though they stopped short of this, of the end zone, the clock is still running. 4:38 and ticking. 7-point lead. It'll make it 2 with just a field goal, so they can do whatever they want in this third down situation here inside the 3-yard line, Kev.
Even DJ Jones getting another hand on that. They bring in Homer. 13th play of the drive. 3rd and goal at the 2. Wilson, shovel pass. Everett doused at the 1. Oh, they read that well and played that well. This defense has stiffened when they need to. It was a fumble. It's a fumble at the 1.
There's so many bodies in there, it's hard to see how that happened.
Tart comes up of the bottom of the pile, but with the ball, as you see, is Dante Johnson. And Everett got the ball, the second red zone turnover by Seattle today with a big hit right there from Al Shire.
The new captain of the defense with Fred Warner out. Azeez Al-Shaair puts his helmet right on the ball. It's the 3rd turnover you can attribute to Gerald Everett. What a huge change of events for the Seattle Seahawks. They were going to have a decision on 4th down whether to go for it. I would have espoused kicking the field goal. 2 possessions with under 5 minutes. You're still at a market advantage, but now the San Francisco 49ers have a chance to tie this one up. It's going to take an epic drive. 99 yards they have to go. They haven't moved the ball well in the second half. We'll see what they're made of. See what Jimmy G is made of. See what Kyle Shanahan is made of.
Timeout, Seattle. 1 left. Al-Shire comes in with another big defensive play in his first career start at middle linebacker. He has played middle linebacker before, but today taking the place of Fred Warner. And Al-Shire coming up with a huge hit, jars the ball free, and recovered inside by Dante Johnson.
That's one of the dangers, Kev, of having a tight end run the ball in a tight area, not used to taking hits like running backs, fullbacks are. Running sideways as opposed to vertically.
Everett has had a tough day for Seattle. 2 fumbles lost. And he had the drop at the goal line that was intercepted on the ricochet. The former Ram. Johnson just vacuumed it in. The ball is at the 2. 3 timeouts for San Francisco, down by 7. The Niners have an NFL-high 5 touchdown drives, over 90 yards this season. They need one here. 1st and 10 for Garoppolo. And he's got Kittle for second half catch, buying and breathing space. And knocked out of bounds by Brooks on the near side at the 30-yard line. Big-time catch of 29 and a great throw by Garoppolo.
George Kittle is just on the edge. He runs right by Ryan Neal, who has coverage on him. Jimmy Garoppolo just lofts it out. Easy catch. And then George starts to do his high-stepping. That might be his new thing. He starts high-stepping, he can stay in bounds and go down the sideline again.
1st and 10. Up the middle they come. It's off to Mitchell. There's a block by Tomlinson. Brunskill tries to throw a block. And it's brought down by Wagner on the play and by Brooks to New York. How about that? Boomer, thank you. Johnson, his second touchdown reception today from 39-year-old Ben Roethlisberger. Baltimore's on top. Pittsburgh's at 500. Here, 1st and 10 from the 42. Garoppolo moving up on the move. Needs the 48. Has the first down. Hit there by Wagner. Gain of 11. Flag is thrown.
Yeah, well, unfortunately going to get holding in the backfield here.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Laken Tomlinson, who is the starting left guard for the Niners.
And you could feel the urgency on that play. Jimmy Garoppolo not finding anyone open downfield. Tucks it and runs. And 75 here. Laken Tomlinson at guard. Just trying to hold on. He's got a combo block. There's no need to grab, but as soon as Jimmy starts to run, that's a ticky-tack foul. I'm not sure that was holding in the classic sense of the word. But you throw your arms up and grabs the ref's attention. He's got a grip of your jersey. They throw the flag.
It's 1st and 20. Good block by Mitchell to the side. He's got him. Ayuk got the ball. 18-yard reception. Staying in on the play. Umati was over there and others.
Brandon Ayuk just finds his way behind the flat corner. Jimmy G puts it right where it needs to be. Concentrates on his feet.
First, make it 2nd down and 2. Nice move right here, and digging his way is Elijah Mitchell for a gain of 6 on 2nd and 2, and takes it to the 44 of Seattle.
49ers cross the 50-yard line for the first time this half, and it's their most important drive. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left here. Elijah Mitchell always finding those right holes, as Kyle Shanahan told us. Gets a first down, and 49ers finally looking like themselves again.
And 3 timeouts. And the 2-minute warning stop. 1st and 10. Garoppolo comped in the block at the right tackle and low, and it's caught by Kittle. Rolling at the 30, 14-yard pickup. He had a 29-yard catch earlier on the drive, and he gives the Niners at the 2-minute warning an outstanding spot at the 30 of Seattle on CBS. The 49ers have all 3 timeouts. They took over at their 2 with 4:03 to play. 6th play of the drive upcoming. Garoppolo has gone 4 of 4 on the drive. Kittle with 2 big catches. 1st and 10, the 30 of Seattle. They bring the blitz. He ducks. He throws, and he's got Kittle. He breaks the tackle on the side and on the move to the 18. Hit by Diggs and brought down. Picks up 12. Flag across the way.
Looks like the flag's going to be holding or illegal block in the back.
Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's receiver Trent Sherfield.
Happened right at the first down marker, so it's still going to be 1st and 10.
He got Sidney Jones. Sherfield did with his block, and that was the penalty. After the 12-yard gain by Kittle wiped away, now it is 1st and 10 at the 30. Garoppolo underneath. Kittle is there, grabbed by Diggs, spins to the 23, picks up 7.
George Kittle is having a heck of a day. This is his 9th reception, excuse me, on the day. 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. We talked to Jimmy G about how important he was. Garoppolo said that he's my clutch player. In clutch time, that's who he's citing.
2nd down and 3. And Ayuk has it inside the 15, twirling to the 10, brought down by Wagner near the 7. 16-yard catch and run. 1st and goal, San Francisco.
Brandon Ayuk catches this one cleanly.
Good time, and what a throw.
Holds on. DB doesn't bring him to the ground. He gets down inside the tight red area right now. San Francisco's feeling themselves, needing a score to tie with 40 seconds to go.
9th play of the drive. And squirming his way inside the 5 with a gain of 3 is Elijah Mitchell. At the bottom of the pile, they had Rasheem Green. Put him at the 4.
They waited a long time to call that timeout. Obviously, you don't want to give the Seahawks and Russell Wilson an opportunity to go back and score, so call it now. Think about this.
Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and the whistleblower named reality winner and her first TV interview, followed by the national Christmas tree lighting and the 23rd annual Home for the Holidays at the Grove, plus NCIS Los Angeles. That's tonight on CBS. The ball is at the 4. The clock at 32 seconds. The Niners have just called a timeout. They've got 2. Seahawks have 1.
49ers still have 2 timeouts, so they can run it. They can do whatever they want here. The next play, though, if they don't make it, has got to be your best play.
2nd down and goal at the 4. It's Mitchell. And a gain of a yard. At the bottom there was Ryan Neal, also Sidney Jones. Timeout. And San Francisco has taken it. 1 apiece for the Niners and the Hawks.
You know, on 2nd down, I might have went play action. Now on 3rd down, you're on the 3.5-yard line. You can still run it here. You have a timeout, but it's got to be one of your best runs. We haven't seen something they did a couple of weeks ago against Indianapolis. There's a lot of misdirection. We used to call it a scissors play. You get a lead blocker out in front of you. There's nobody on the corner. Elijah Mitchell is so great at reading plays like that.
3rd and goal at the 3. Garoppolo, the fake to the end zone, dropped incomplete. Looking for the receiver, Trent Sherfield.
On 3rd down, play action is predictable. They called it a play too late. Now on 4th down, whatever your 2-point play is, this has got to be it.
Sidney Jones was defending, and he was defending heavily.
Ken Norton Jr.'s defense got to draw the energy from this Lumen Field 12th man and make one of the biggest stops in the month for the Seattle Seahawks.
At the other end, we saw a San Francisco goal line stand. 4th and goal at the 3. Timeout, timeout, they blow it dead.
Timeout, San Francisco.
And they are out of timeouts. Well, we've had one of the most unusual Sundays in the NFL. Garoppolo with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Kittle has had a monster day, 2 touchdown receptions and 181 yards. Wilson very accurate, 30 of 37. Peterson scoring a touchdown that tied him with Jim Brown for 10th all-time in touchdowns. And now, after a goal line stand by the San Francisco 49ers, they have taken the ball from their 2 to the 3, down by 7, 4th and goal. 12th play of the drive. Hasty is in. Garoppolo, blocked by Compton, deflected, incomplete.
That was Carlos Dunlap, a player who has been questioned why he hasn't been getting a lot of playing time. Gets his hand up at just the right moment to knock down Jimmy Garoppolo's pitch and catch to Trent Sherfield. What an amazing stop by the Seattle Seahawks defense. We've seen so much in this game. fake punt for a touchdown. We've had 6 turnovers, a couple of them going in for the Seattle Seahawks. Their offense has done what they needed to do, but when it mattered most, this defense makes a huge stop on 4 consecutive plays in the tight red area against the 49ers offense that have been rolling.
I sure hope the engineering is good in this stadium because it's shaking. The box right now we're in, shaking. Russ gets the snap. No timeouts to stop. This is over, and Seattle has beaten San Francisco for the 4th consecutive time. The Niners will go to 6-6 and drop to number 7 in the NFC with Washington winning earlier. And the Seahawks go to 4-8 and stop a losing streak of 3 in a row. Great defense at the end by the Seahawks. A great deflection by Carlos Dunlap on that 4th and goal at the 3. The Niners drop to 6-6, their first loss in a month. They had won 3 in a row. Now for Melanie Collins and Tiki Barber, Kevin Harlan saying good night from Seattle. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes. You've been watching the NFL on CBS Sports.